Right. Hello, hello, hello. I think you guys can hear me okay. They once again updated the software. And it looks all different. The fonts are like all big. It's like, this is weird. But I think it's working again. As far as, remember before I couldn't see, not that one. I couldn't see the chat or whatever. I can see the chat back in the monitor again. Neuro. There we go. So it looks like it's working again. Appears like it is. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like people do updates, right? You do an update, and then what do? You just change the font, and it's like, there we go. Look, we've updated it. It's new. It's like, okay, sure, if you say so. But I got my coffee. Yeah. So we got some massive movements in the yen, right? Again, pound got some pound strength rolling back in again. So right now you're seeing the pound yen do what it does. 264 pips to the top side in the last 24 hours. Monstrous move there. Euro pound 55 down. That's a good move, right? That's a good move. Where new order growth slows. There's a little bit of UK data out there. Which again, bringing that strength back in, seeing some weakness over here. The dollar's kind of mixed. I mean, we have some strength versus the Aussie, right? A little strength versus the Swiss. Losing a little bit over here to the CAD, but again, that has reversed in the last hour. Again, obviously versus the yen, that's more of a yen play, and then versus the dollar and the euro, again, up a little bit. I mean, up or down and up, right? 30 pips, 35 pips in 24 hours. Not really not really big. News-wise, there's a lot more out there. So the Aussie rate, basically the forecast was that they were going to bring it in at 0.5 higher. And again, it came in as exactly as expected. So we're not seeing tons and tons of movement in the Aussie. There's actually, the Aussie sells off after RBA hikes 50 basis points, while sterling bounces off its new low, right? So again, 235 getting back in I want to say somewhat respectable levels, not too bad, right? But that was like super early in the morning. And we're seeing reversals from it. At 9:45 and 10 o'clock, we have our final services and the ISM services PMI coming in at 55.4. So, some interesting data. We got the GDP for Aussie tonight, which again, coming in at 1.0. That's actually not bad. It's continuing to rise, even though they are raising interest rates versus the United States, where it tends to be, kind of reversing and going back to the downside. So I think that's great. Saudi Arabia lowers all oil prices for Europe in October. That's kind of an interesting one, right? Right. Interesting that they're lowering it for specific regions. I kind of understand why they're doing that, but this is the worst. Yeah. So here, love this one. The German gas giant says that the worst is still to come after Russia halts flow to Europe. Yeah, and I've been saying this and not surprised there. So that's a big natural gas kind of thing going over there. Where's the other one? There's another thing in here too. More lockdowns. Again, remember that quote supply chain, those supply chain t-shirts, they're all coming back. We're going to hear more about that again, right? Whenever China's locking down, we're going to hear a lot more, right? There's more to come, right? And it's amazing. 71 new COVID cases on Sunday. And it's funny, like we were up in the thousands, right? They had 71 and they're locking down 25 million people. Just shows what you can do differently, right? Yeah. And then there was one other one too. I forget where it was. I think it was in the other one here. Anyway, that's what we got going on right now. Again, the services data, I think, is going to be kind of what kind of sets us off in the morning. But it's funny because look at the dollar. Like there's where the dollar has kind of done its thing, right? And it's funny, you may say, well, why are there two gaps here? Well, because there was one gap for, the overall market over the weekend, right? We go from Friday to Sunday. And then right here, you have the yesterday evening, right? The holiday US gap, right? So two different gaps, but how about that for a candle? I mean, look at it's like, what the heck is this, right? Kind of funny. I mean, it goes back and, when we have a zone up top, you can see that even though as crazy as that is, it went up and grabbed that level and turned and rolled back to the downside. So kind of interesting, right? It's really kind of interesting. You just got to love how that kind of flows around. So being up at 110.23, I think it's, again, the same assessment. I mean, 109 is high, 110 is really high, right? Is it going to go higher? Yeah, I mean, it can if it really wants to. I mean, there's nothing stopping it from going any higher. And the thing about it right now is we know the U.S. is going to raise. The U.S. is always a little bit more insulated to any type of financial crisis because of the amount of money and the spenders and things like that. And we take on debt and, we do a lot of different things, right? So, it has the ability to go higher. Question is, what are the long-term implications? We're already starting to see, and I actually read an article about this weekend that other countries are talking about it's really hard to justify, and it's not just buying U.S. goods, but also and it's actually not so much goods, it's services, right? If you can hire a service company in, another European country, or you can hire a U.S. company, it's a lot cheaper for you to do it in another European country than to hire a U.S. counterpart, right? Why? Because, again, the dollar is so strong right now. 110, I mean, it used to be up in like the 96, the 98 range, and that was more normal. We're really, really high. So the dollar is really, really expensive. So people do not want to buy U.S.-based goods, right? So that's what we're starting to see. And you may say, well, how does that affect the markets? How do we trade that? Again, it's more for kind of a stock trader than anything else, right? Because you start looking at earnings and what, a lot of the earnings from companies come from their overseas sales. We know that now that the U.S. is trying to halt basically us sending things to China, which, again, China's just going to copy it. It don't matter. That's going to cost AMD or I guess NVIDIA, $400 million. And that was basically what their profit forecast was. So you can erase that. Microsoft, IBM, any of the really large kind of major, mainframe-based companies, large big companies, right? Services and computers. They're going to lose a lot of overseas business, a lot, because it's just way too expensive, right? It just is what it is. So, again, we're on the high side of this one. Do I think it's done? No, not yet. I think we still got some more room to run. So, we'll see how the services data comes in. Again, we do have a little bit of a buffer. It is getting lower, but we do have the buffer above 50. I don't expect it to drop below 50. If it did, that's kind of a bad one. That would be a little bit crazy, but I don't think it's going to drop that far. I think we got plenty of buffer, even if it comes in at like a 54.3 or something like that. I think, the market probably has got it mostly factored in. So, excuse me, not a major deal. All right. Now, tomorrow morning, we do have some monetary policy reports early on. And it's not super early. It's not like the 3 o'clock release. It's right around that 5 o'clock time frame. So this is actually a really, really cool release for tomorrow. In particular, because guess what? When we have reversals coming at 5:30, right? Well, this is at 5 o'clock. If the market does nothing but move in one direction till 3 o'clock, it's kind of like, are you trying to tell me something? That the market is most likely going to, go in, they're going to say something that sends it in the opposite direction. And a lot of times that's what we see. Again, a 5 o'clock release, always a very interesting time. You get that open. And again, this one's a little bit later. The United States tends to do it at 10 o'clock. They do a lot of theirs at 5. So interesting time. But then we have the overnights, and again, we got the interest rate rise tomorrow. Now, that's kind of a nice one, right? Going from 2.5 to 3.25. That's a pretty legitimate raise there, right? You're going up, 75 basis points, and again, the 3.5 range puts them up in that kind of almost up in that carry trade range. I mean, we're getting back to like actual legitimate interest rates, and it's kind of like, is this going to be it, or are we going to continue to go further? Their PMI is also not great, but it wasn't great before, so it doesn't, it's not too bad. But 3.25 is a respectable interest rate where you're starting to, finally start to get something out of these things, right? And again, Japan has still not said anything yet. Again, you don't see any official, very, very slow. Like the biggest thing we got out of Japan, where is it? Right here, right? Spending falls amid surge in virus cases, right? So, again, great that they're spending because, again, inflation is starting to get out of control. But, yeah, so that's kind of where we stand with it. So that's what we got. And then, again, obviously, Low speaking tomorrow night, not super big. Bernard, where's she speaking at? Economic outlook. She may help move the markets move at lunchtime, right? Okay, so, yeah. So there's 2 speeches tomorrow. Right, we may get something small in the afternoon, but I think the big one's going to be CAD tomorrow morning. And again, probably playing this with the CAD yen is how you're going to do it. So anyway, here's where we are with the VIX. Obviously, looking at the Friday, we had a lot of movement. We really haven't done much since that time, right? We go from the second to the fifth. Or, I'm sorry, the second to the sixth, because nothing was there over the weekends. Yesterday doesn't count as far as this market goes. So again, a little bit higher than what we were. We're kind of in the middle of the range right now for it. Again, not in a supply pace pair, but you can see a lot of this was from Friday. Dollar we already talked about. Again, took this big, it's funny, gap down, went all the way up, came all the way back down, and now it's pushed back again. So, I mean, from where we were Friday, quite a big push, right? But yesterday's movement, from Sunday, kind of pushed the dollar down, down, just to kind of let it rally higher. So, not a bad spot. Let's start off with Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar continuing to go low. So we talked last week, right? We were talking about kind of an area of buyers, and you can see from the 6 on, right? Really from late last night, nice little rally up. We talked about 67.82. If you guys can see the 67.82 mark right there. And we said it was confirmed and it had been pushed down there, and we got kind of a confirmation here. The trade is obviously, out at this point, right? Whoops. It doesn't matter. I can put that there. I can put this here. And then our 1 to 3 is only right there. So you can see there with a 3:30 trigger yesterday morning, right? European Open, straight up, and it was out last night at what, like 4:30, 5 o'clock, later than that. Actually, later than that. So yeah, 7:30, 7. So yeah, it's already out now. And again, you can see the number of hits, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, we weren't really taking it again. This one, even if you took it on a confirmation, you were fine. It's continuing to drop. So again, we're seeing, this movement continue. If we bring our fibs down now, kind of this most recent push, we can bring both of them down, and it doesn't really change much for the old one. Let's see, we can take this one off now. Let's see, where do we stop next? We got a little hiccup here, and then it looks like all the way down. Actually, you know what? And there's probably something small in there. There may be another hiccup sitting kind of right in this level right here. Right? Kip's about to come in because of the holiday. Melissa had to, she has her like regular weekly meeting that's normally on Mondays is today, so Kip will be joining us in a couple minutes. So these are the potential areas where we have bounces coming in. Now, in looking at this, obviously, the rate hike is out. The rate hike is in. People wanted a little bit more. They didn't get it. The weakness is in there. We should start seeing a bit of a reversal come in at this point. We got a few areas coming in that could be potential levels for reversal. Now, the 67.43, it's been nothing but really kind of Aussie weakness, dollar strength since late last night. So, again, could we see this today? We could. I mean, there are obviously, ISM is obviously one of those things that, oh, look at that. Final services came in even worse than expected. So there is an event coming out in 8 minutes that could actually provide us for some reversal areas. I'd like to see what it does. I'd kind of like to see almost a pop down of one of these two levels. And looking at them on the 30-minute, right, and bringing them back, we know we have some testing off of this. We know we got a quick little kind of hit right afterwards. At least this had some time, and we know this is somewhat more of a bottom, right? But we had original targets of 66, 68. So, there are 3 levels in here. I'd like to see one of them take a bounce. I would not be really necessarily interested in getting in early. But again, if the services data is good, we should see. Well, actually, if services comes in as a red number, like say that 54.30, that would actually give this cause to turn and bounce off of this level. I wish it was this level. I like this level down here better for news. And I don't think in 8 minutes we're traveling the. If we do, it's quite a big jump. 30 pips in that short of a time. It's a little bit shy. Yeah, I'm almost kind of hoping. That the news takes this down, and then we kind of start basing there, and then play this at 10:30 to reverse back up again. It's kind of what I'm is looking at. Like I said, it's been in there once. It's kind of tested. It's kind of bounced around. Is it the best level? No, I think the level lower is better, but it's a decent level. And again, Monday morning 10:30, the dollar's been nothing but straight up. There will have to be profit taking come in as we start cycling out the European trader. So. Remember, the European traders basically had an entire extra day to, run roughshod any way they could. And trust me, the European traders and European companies know if we strengthen the dollar because the U.S. market's open and they can't slow it down, it just makes business for us better. So they're not stupid. It's not lost on them. Yeah, so that's where we're kind of at right now. I'd say 60. Look, see if we can get a spike down on either of these two. And again, that spike down would be a good number, and then look for a reversal because this is too much movement in one day. But 67.23, and then the other level coming in lower would be 66.90, 98, I guess. Yeah, right around there. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen grinding. Now you can see Aussie yen did come up and grab this level and then pull back again. It didn't quite make, and actually I guess this should be there. I don't think it got really close to a 1 to 3, right? We did talk about this 95. Look at this base confirmation. Boom, took off at midnight last night. This 95.50, and we mentioned 95.50 would be a big basing level. Again, top, bottom, top. Base. So now we're looking for a bottom. And again, it was a bottom once and a confirmed bottom yet again. So we'll take that one off now. We're actually going to adjust this to more of a near-term basing level. Right there is fine. We'll go right there. So right now we did have this pullback. I don't think it did. I don't think 1 to 3 actually fully triggered. If anything, you would have got stopped out at break even. No. 1 to 3 is right there. You can see we missed it by just a little bit, but it was one of those ones where you got to say, hey, listen, there's probably buyers coming in right there. And that's exactly who they bounced off of. So it didn't quite make it to the profit target. So you may want to adjusted this one just by a little tiny bit. If you did, you got out. If you didn't, you probably trailed this one. It was a 9 for 30 or 10 for 30. So you weren't going for, in this case, you weren't going for the last 2.2 pips and losing 28 in the other direction. You would have absolutely banked something on this one. And then since that time, all we've done is we've now pushed up. So we do have an area here that, again, this is a kind of a larger level up top. I think we did this off a 4 hour. Let me bring it back up. Like I said, it's like a monstrous level. Yeah, this was like a huge monstrous level, right? It was on a daily chart. So, no, it's a gigantic level. We'll shrink that to there. I don't think... can I see it on this one? Nope. I cannot. But we know it came from that bigger level. So, Kip is not happy. It's going to be fun. On a 4 hour basis, right, as we continue to push far, you can say impulse correction, next impulse up. We should be looking at hitting levels up here at 96.67. Not actually that far away. We're only really, talking about a small little jump here. Some of these candles can absolutely move. As far as a 30-minute goes, we are through here. I know we're pulling back to it right now. Let's see. Do we have... Yeah, we can't see it. Hello, buddy. I know you're tired. Probably there. There is a little bit of base. We're getting ready to come up to a small base right now. Come here, buddy. Come here. What's wrong? Yeah, tell Aunt Debbie all your problems. Tell Aunt Debbie all your problems. Yeah, I know. Yeah, tell Aunt Debbie all your problems. Yeah, okay. All right. So we are at a level here. And again, I think this is kind of important as well. Talking about an Australian reversal. Again, this is Aussie strength, but it's predominantly been Australian weakness. So it's one of those things we'd like to see it pop a little bit more. I think getting that Aussie strength pop in there makes sense with what we're seeing here. If this continues to push down, again, we should see some Aussie strength pop back versus the dollar. It would also help kind of push us a bit higher in this one. It's about 60 pips up before we get to that 4 hour zone. It's probably a better area to kind of turn and reverse it. All right. Did you just sneeze on me? What is this? What have you got here? Yeah. Everything you can, right? So again, kind of a similar kind of setup. Now, I'm going to remove this just so you guys don't think that we're taking it short again. I don't need this one now. Let's make sure we have all the adjustments on this one. The 23.6 is there. Actually, I kind of want that to come up to there. Right now, we're pushing this level. Yeah, I'd say I'd wait. again, this is one of those kind of not necessarily a set and forget, but this is set an alert and wait for the alert to trigger. Go do other things. But if we get the 96, 67, I would say that's probably a better reversal level. Again, very, very grindy here as far as pullbacks go. Not necessarily super interested in it. There'll be some fib traders that are going to run from high to low here, but there's nothing really over there that shows me that like I'm in love with this one or anything. It just not loving it, right? Just not loving it. So Euro yen. So we talked about this one pulling back. We can see we were calling for down. Again, this is where we ended for the weekend. Right, not much we can do with that. We weren't obviously trading this one over the weekend. We have pushed through that level though at 99, which is awesome. Whoops, no, we cannot hit the keyboard. Let's pull that off now. Let's pull some of these off. Let's see where we go with this next. 50 is not in really a level that I'm watching for. I'm going to leave this one kind of over here, guys, just to leave it, and I'm going to draw a new set from kind of the most recent highs down. I just want to see if anything lines up. Yeah, you're seeing the basing right there. So again, kind of the same idea with the Aussie dollar, looking for somewhat of a reversal in this one. Right now, if it does, again, we have news that just came in. We'll see what it is in a second. If we do get that pushback, there is a little level sitting right here. So I think this is one that's important to talk about. That 99.25. Let's see, it's starting to move. What did it come in as? 54.8. 56. So that's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that means we're gonna raise the dollar more. Right? Gotta raise the dollar some more. Why not? So, yeah, that kind of adds into it. Again, I don't think. I think if anything, what was the prediction? Yeah, I mean, it basically came in as expected. It's not too much different, but it basically shows that again. It's a single data point, and it's not the biggest data point that they're looking for. So I think it could have led us for like maybe some like, oh, maybe they'll slow down a little bit, but not. It's not going to be a big mover. So I would say at this point, yes, there's probably going to a little bit. We are looking for a reversal in here. 25 is going to be right up there. Let's go back and find something big to run into. Problem is, it's just been forever. Like, really, we're not going to find anything this low. That's going to be the problem. So right now, I would say look for a bottoming formation, and then look for a reversal. We have had nothing but Europe. I mean, here's the start of the European market. The 3 o'clock is literally right there. Right there's 3 o'clock. So it's been straight down. We are looking for that. So we need some type of a basing pattern in here. Once we get the base and we start to rally back up again, I would watch out for this 99.25. It is a 23.6 level. Again, fib traders will look at that on a technical basis and want to jump in. We can see it. And again, we love these patterns where we have a green snuck in there and you have those ascending wicks, and then you have a nice strong push out of it. Those tend to be pretty decent levels. And again, do I think the European Union is in a better place than us? No. So I would say that if this comes back up again and we kind of halt right now, I'd be looking for this one to go, and your 1 to 3 is only sitting right there. So all it needs to do is slowly come up again, grab those buyers right there. And again, that's probably a 50% on this overnight. Let's see. Yeah, look, I did it from the most recent high to low in the overnight. If I did it with just this morning, the European session move, the 50% is sitting right smack dead in the middle of that level. So again, most recent high to low is going to be a 23.6 if you take the overnight. The 3 a.m. till now, it's sitting right at the 50. It bisects the little of that zone, and there's your base drop with a strong push in with ascending wick. So it's all the things we love to see, right? It's like the trifecta of positions. So 99.25, you're looking for a short. Euro pound, we're seeing this one continue to push down. You can see that it really had a bit of a difficult time. And look, it grind on that 23, and it grind on the 23, and everybody's getting long, and then it finally collapsed. They're like, oh God. And then it came back up again and did what? A drop, a base, a pullback into a previously violated level, and boom, pushed to the downside. So nice little Harry Potter trade, and that one triggered this morning at 4 o'clock. So a little bit later than what we would typically look for. Wasn't really an opening, wasn't necessarily a reversal, but nonetheless, your 1 to 3 trade is right there. So you were obviously out of it at this point. Funny, we talked about buyers coming in at 57. Here's our label from last week right there. And you can see that's exactly what we ran into. So, yeah. And it's funny. This is what provided the little hiccup. Pull this guy off. When did that hit? Yeah, it's 9 a.m. on Friday. What? No, we're not going to smack the keyboard. Um, Honestly, looking at this right now, again, we've definitely found some buyers in here. They've been here in the past. We know we're supported with levels down here at 85.63. With the wick's a bit higher, right? Base, and it goes higher, 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 higher. For this one, I'd have to say, I'd look for a reversal. I mean, the Europeans have sent it straight down. They've taken their money at 530, right? Again, I'll draw this on there. The low is at 6 actually. So 530 was one candle before, running into a level of buyers. Technically, right now you could be in a long trade. And I don't think this is horrible. I don't think the UK is in a great position. Obviously, the EU is having problems as well. What are you doing? Yes, 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 Mister. I'm gonna make noise. Yeah. What is that? What are you eating? Aga? Aga? Yeah, they only stay little this one. He's already getting big. He's not walking, but he's really close. So I would say I'd look for a little bit more of a reversal on this one. You see some Euro strength pop in again, and pretty much all the pairs right now. Remember, the hard part about trading this one is like literally 9. I guess this was a 9 and 10, not bad, but a lot of the setups on this one have been, for like 23 targets, right? Nothing that we're necessarily in love with. So we want to see it go a little bit more than that. Euro yen. So Euro yen has pushed past some of the fib lines in here. And again, I'm going to move this one actually up. This would be our most recent high to low. Let's see what we're at here to here, right there. Yeah, you can see it blew right through. 23 didn't really hold it back. But we had talked about on Friday the 140.67 level being a big one. 930, that was actually the turning point coming down. The 23 actually did have a bounce off of it, but we'll remove it now, and you can see, funny enough, we drew it. There was your bounce. There, your first 23 hit, and then look at that. We based literally right in there late last night. But we're going to pull it now. I will actually put a profit target there, though, on any shorts. Let's see, 95.50. We don't need that now. Gotta love clearing these things over the weekend. There's not really a great level there. Probably there. And again, that would be a front run of this profit target. It's funny. It really likes that 140.67. Turned here, came back and grabbed it here and took off. Let's see. No. There we go. Here. Want this? Yeah. There's where your current short is. Yeah, and this kind of goes along what we talked about, the yen reversing back because it just absolutely just got hammered. Whoops, not that one. You could kind of be in this position right now. Again, 1 of 3 is in a fine range. We're going to pull that line off right now. Yeah. That was our alert line. What? Where are you going? Here. 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 What's this? All right. So I would say, yeah, watch, look for, I'd be looking for a reversal right now. The yen is just extremely beat up right now. There'll be some profit taking come in. Again, I would say the way that looks right now, it looks like there's some European weakness in this one, although in the other pairs we saw some European strength coming back in again. So just be cautious with this. It really is going to depend on how the yen what happens with the yen today. Again, dollar yen's at like 142 right now. It's like insane. So this, we're at a stage where the bank, Japan is going to do something, but, it's kind of where we're at right now. I would say definitely watch out for this level right here. It's the old 23.6. You can see the 23 here. Actually, it's funny. I could just do this and box off the 23, and it also boxes the 50. Right? Oh, here, I'll put in a color that we don't use. Look, 23, 50 right there. Just magically is in the same area. So I think that's going to be a hot spot for that one on the downside. We'll throw our price target up here of 119.15. We'll turn it this color just so it's easier to see. Right? 140.16. All right. I think you'll have a bunch of people stepping in on a technical basis so we can get back that low. Pound dollar. So pound dollar coming back down again. So we did not get the full Harry Potter on that one on the 5th, right? It did come down. It did base. It never actually pulled back, right? We never really got the entry in it. And then it kind of gave us a slow kind of the slow push and kind of went down and stopped on us. So, it's a level we're sitting there right now. And this is the problem when the U.S. market's not open. It's kind of hard to trade something with a dollar in there when the dollar market is not open. Again, you can see I'll move this across again. It's paid off here, and it just came back off the 1600 and just paid off again. So, actually, that was a decent little reversal trade right there. There's 530, right? Yeah, 3 cent it up. So, right now we're more range bound with this one. What's the 24-hour pip change? Yeah, 5. So not anything blazing. We're still basically in that same channel. I'd still say profit targets down here at 114.10. Like I said, we didn't really get the clean Harry Potter entry here, but as we did pull back up again, you can see all the basing in here just shows us that, again, there is definitely something going on at that level. It is what it is. Can't do much with it. But again, in the overnight, without the U.S. market open, it's really hard for any kind of major money influence in here when the market is not open. So, yeah. But when it did pull back again, and then again, we got our typical reversal in the morning, we got the nice pushback to the downside. All right. Pound yen. So, pound yen. We talked about this one. This is the biggie, right? 250 on the morning again. 215. The yen is getting close. We talked about going back up again, and a couple things going on with this one. So we definitely got the push higher, right? You can see that we based in this level and then took off from it. There was a little bit of a hiccup right here. On its drive up, it ended up grabbing that old level that we had to trade for. It didn't make it. It wasn't another kind of 1 to 3. It already hit it. It hit it here. It hit it here. It hit it here. It hit it here. This is hit number 5. We're not taking that one, obviously, but it's funny to watch when they bounce off that level. So we'll pull that. These are from last week. All right. This is the 78. So let's get some new fibs on this one because this is a major mover. One nice little update is we ended up coming down yesterday morning and we tagged this 160.56. We had a little Harry Potter trader here saying, hey, listen, when we get the break of that, we're going short. It's awesome that it hit it again because it confirmed that, yep, this is a zone. We just found those buyers again. That's exactly what we're looking for. So, again, we never got a trade entry because it did not break. But it showed us that there are buyers there. When those buyers are gone, those buyers will become sellers. So I'm all into that one. I still think that 160.59 is a great level the next time we come down there. Don't know what it'll be, right? But right now, there's levels, and you can see that the 23 is there's something going on there. Boxing this one off top, we don't really have necessarily a great level right now to use. I'd say watch this 23 level, though. There is a wick. Here, I bet you on the 15 we can see it. Yep. Look at how it cuts right through. Let's change this to yellow because it's not. There you go. Magically, look at that. There was your confirmation. So I would say watch for this to pull back down. If we can get back down to the 163.68, it could be an opportunity to take this one long. As I said, though, I do believe that the BOJ is going to, I think they're going to do something. Again, spending is surging up at 142. We know that it's hurting their economy, right? It's definitely the stage where it's hurting. So it just, and look at this. The 50 magically right here too. And your 61.8. Right? It's funny how that works out. So a couple things on the downside. But yeah, I would say, this would be one of those ones that I'd be kind of thinking it's time to start reversing this one back. It's been really pretty much straight up again. And again, there are a few Harry Potters. I think between the 23.6 and 50, there is an opportunity for a short in there. If we can break below this, and again, that'd be 163.57. Be a decent push to the downside. But right now, I would say definitely more bearish thinking. Again, we're going to need some help from the yen on this one. Need something, right? Need something. So, kind of where we're at. Dollar CAD. So, dollar CAD, really just range bound. Right, we had this one drawn. Happy. We talked about a break below 130.64. What do? We tagged it again. So now we've had 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, which is the magic number for us. Now we're looking for the base in here for a push through. So totally cool with this one. That was on Friday, and we're really in the same exact spot. You can see that the dollar CAD is 29 pips in 24 hours, so not tons. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that, again, we're seeing dollar strength, but we're also seeing some weakness over on the commodity side of things. And again, part of that is because the dollar is so high right now. They tend to be kind of inverse, right? But gas prices are down. Yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't change my mindset on this one, really, probably until up in this level. We got a little bit more room to run. Let's see, Europeans set it off. Yeah, European market started here, right there. There's your European Open. So, yeah, probably a bit of a reversal. I would say that we know there's some selling going on up there. We know that 132 is a big level. This is right at 131.90. So, it's all right. It's an all right level, but I'm really excited about this. I definitely think this is now going into alert time frame. Right here, we pull this on. Add an alert. Whoops. HP short confirm. Okay. Like being able to take that one over. So dollar CAD setup is in there. Dollar Swiss. All right, dollar Swiss also grinding up really from late last night forward. Profit target, we talked about taking the shorts off this level. We talked about 97.91. You can see we came down, touched it, and broke through it, and again used it. So again, it's definitely an area of interest out there, but it has been hit, so we don't need it anymore. We're kind of sitting up in an area where it's time for a reversal of sorts as well, and this is kind of the same thing. It's 10:30. The news is out. We know what's going on. Is strong dollar, but everything is strong dollar, so it's really kind of time for this one to turn and roll. I don't think the Swiss is in a great spot, so I wouldn't say the Swiss is in a position of power or anything like that. That's not kind of what I'm saying, but I do believe that we will see a bit of a pullback because there's been so much dollar movement. It is time to take some profit out of it. But by no means am I saying, hey, it's time to, go short the dollar. It's not. No, I think the dollar has more room to run. I think it has the ability to go higher. Like I said, I think, I don't think that they're going to change their trajectory too much in what they had originally planned. That's not necessarily like a Fed thing, right? And they made comments about we're not looking at one data point, we're looking at multiple data points. But the employment data was just too strong. The JOLTS data too strong. You're not seeing demand deteriorate anywhere. It's great to see some of the data come down, but at the end of the day, I just don't think that really the factors that are going to matter the most on a long term have not subsided, right? So, yeah, again, totally up to you guys, but I would say that right now, dollar Swiss very, very high on the curve. But if anything, I would say look for this to turn and start reversing back a little bit. But of the two on a fundamental basis, I think it has the ability to go higher. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, we're talking about potential shorts, and look at this. We hit it again. It's like, wait a second, is there any buyers left here? And then eventually they push through and have gone higher now. So, it's way up. Again, we're basically at 143. Did we tag 140? No, 142.90 is the high right now. So we're pretty close. I mean, remember, here it was bad. Here the world was ending. Now we're all the way up here. So, yeah, I feel like there's definitely going to be some, I don't know what day, but I feel like there'll be definitely some comments. And I don't even know. Can we even see on a weekly basis? Can we even see? Yeah, we can. Can I see it on a daily? Maybe. Weekly is such a huge time frame. We can. All right, let's see. And then we'll put 145. Let's do a horizontal line. Top right. Style. Black. There we go. Look at this. You see, I don't know if you guys can see that. Like this level was originally formed in 1999. So it just shows you how infrequent they let the price get up that high. So there's our look right now. Right. So 145 will be a big one. And again, the way that BOJ does their interventions, it's kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, right now I would say, my opinion on this one, with everything going on with China, again, locking things down, Chinese aggression, none of these things are great for the yen overall. And again, I think the dollar continues to go higher. On a fundamental basis, I like this one long still. But I do think the BOJ is going to intervene. So I do think there is a shorting opportunity, but right now I'm not going to try to call a top on this one. If we do get like a decent candle like that, though, if this is the candle formation that happens and in the next 10 minutes it doesn't move at all, it stays right here in the middle, and we start to pull down again, I would say look for a reversal pattern for today, that there will be a pullback. If we start to get this and we have that failure to go higher, look to take that short back down again, maybe back down into the 140-ish level. The 140 makes more sense for where we are right now. Okay. All right. Bitcoin, again, Bernard speaking soon. It's holding that low. It's below 20, so it's getting a little sketchy again. Ethereum a little bit higher, but look, Ethereum just bounced off of a level that we had drawn last week and pulled back again. Doji, where are we at here? Did we tag the old level? No, we missed it by just a little bit. Again, down at that 6.2 again. So again, can we break the 6 mark again? That's been a big line in the sand, but we'll see if we hit it. Bonds also down quite large today. It's a big day in bonds. Wow, TOT is getting smashed today. But again, obviously we know what's going on with everything else. All right, so let's look at this. So we talked about this one coming up and down. It didn't actually break through that level at 86, but it did come up, it did grab it, and it did push back lower, so we'll take these off, but we did not go through. Looks like this morning at 7 o'clock, it was driven right in from 3 o'clock, so Europeans actually sent us, there's the 3 o'clock candle. Europeans sent us straight down, again, basing right off that same level, that old level. Europeans sent us straight down at 7 o'clock. We pulled up and now we're stuck. I would say, again, we are actually officially in the green now for oil. It's the only one of the commodities that is there. I think the big problem with what we're going to have with oil right now is so many people are focused on this, right? Right? Let's see. As our country had 2 months long corona cycle shining white, China has once again placed a city of more than 20 million. Oh yeah, this is just kind of talking about it. Yeah. So, yeah. Obviously, 20 million people locked down hurts demand. So I think what we need to do is we need to see some, positive news coming out of China as far as releasing the lockdown. If they release the lockdown, I think this goes right back up again. As I said, the economy in the United States, JOLTS is still high. The unemployment rate went higher, but again, there's still 11 million job openings right now. So all those people should be able to find jobs if they want one. I know, at least here, I don't know how it is where you guys are, but, my kids aren't in the public school system anymore. But I still get all the emails from the public school system. They are, I think they're like 42 bus drivers short. Like people are like, yeah, we don't know if the bus is going to come today or not come today. And people are carpooling to get their kids to school. Like it's just unbelievable. Like there was like teachers and subs in the county I live in got a 20% raise this year. It was quite large just because they needed to retain teachers and they paid the lowest in Maryland. So yeah, there's definitely tons of job openings and people. So, demand is still strong. We're not losing demand. But I will say, Sam's Club had 331 gas or 335 gas. Melissa and I drove past. We're like, man, I feel like we just need to start filling tanks up at this point, right? Because we're so used to having to pay like much higher prices now. It's like 335. That's cheap, right? So I'm going to Sam's Club today. If it's 335, I don't care if I'm putting $4 in. I'm going to put $4 worth of gas in, just to fill the tank up, just to say that I paid $335. My luck, it's probably back up to 350 today, but hopefully not with the prices being low. But I would say right now, until any of the Chinese news comes out on an intraday basis, this is an area of buyers. They've come in. You'd already be long. I do think, and again, in most U.S. markets, we tend to see the price of it raise a little bit more. Right now, I mean, if we can rally back up to 92.75, I think it's a short. Besides that, obviously this level up here between 80, really 89.50-ish, right? 89.50 seems to be the area of sellers. So we'll see. Remember this week, the oil inventory report should be one day later because Monday was a holiday. So we won't even have oil tomorrow. It'll be on Thursday, and it'll be a blended day with oil and natural gas. So don't see much over there. Now, natural gas, taking it kind of hard, right? Pushing down, and again, we had this little kind of violated level that got broken. We've now gone down all the way to the 61.8, and we have a level just a little tiny bit lower. We haven't hit it. We got super close, and now it's kind of just reversing. Again, there's so many problems. I don't know if this one's just preparing to go higher. Like I said, after we bounced off that top, I know it took a lot to get up there. We are pulling back to some nice levels, but again, we're hearing, and again, some of this may be, demand being lower. Some of it may be the overpriced nature of it. I mean, with a lot of comments, we've seen that the worst is yet to come, right? The worst is yet to come, after Russia halts flow to Europe again. So it's pushing back down again, but, I think right now the biggest question is, are we going to have enough? What are we doing with it? I think we are a political headline away, or as soon as we start talking about winter storage, I think, I'd like to find long opportunities, unfortunately, because of the takeoff on this one. There's not tons. So natural gas, be cautious with it. But you can say that old level was a good one. Actually, let's see. Let's draw this one from top to bottom real quick. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Look at this. So basically there to there. Look at this 50% mark. There was a gap in here, and it came up and actually grabbed it. Right? There's our touch. Actually, there's our touch. And we came back and grabbed it again. So maybe we actually have a more short-term 914 could be the next. If we can pull back up again, there'd be some technical traders coming on that one. May not be bad. Actually, let's see where they are from the overnight. Yeah, look at that. There's the touch of the. It's touched. It wasn't the touch before, but it is the touch now. So yeah, it could be a natural gas play. All right, we talked about getting short in this level. We talked about the level on top of the level. Going back to the original, you can see that there it is right there. All right. There it is, did not break out of the top, and we are out. And that was a late last night spike, right? Probably Australian data. And we're sitting in the middle of the range. This is probably right around the 50 at this point. You can see that the price is literally right here at the 50 at this point. So, again, if you're able to get short in this one, decent trade setup. I know we talked about anytime we have pops up in gold. Again, look to take it short. I would say right now with the news we've gotten, I would say 1,700 is probably something we hit today. Actually, we missed it a little bit. But yeah, I would say this probably grinds down a little bit more. And then look for this 1692 as being a level where we have a potential bounce off of it. Let's see. What do we have? I guess I could do that. It's moderated. I love when they're moderated. Next week is really the CPI. With the chop back and forth on this one, I still want to just say kind of, I still feel bearish until we can get back down again. With as much kind of buying as we had in here, very choppy, very ugly. But yeah, I think I do like the 1692 with CPI not till next week. There may be some headlines that they try to telegraph what they're going to say, but there may be an opportunity to kind of get into a long for gold just to get it a bit higher, right? To be able to take it short next week. Because again, it is still the main focus. We still need to crush inflation. So yeah, 1692 could be decent, guys. But again, right now in the move, again, both these technically have been broken at this point, so you can't really rely on. It's like, well, it's a 61.8. It sliced through it. I mean, it was a news slice, so I'd say probably more bearish than anything else. Silver, yeah, look at silver. Unfortunately, silver kind of robbed us. Didn't get all the way up. It did grab the guys here though. Yeah, we were talking about getting short 1862. It made it to 1858, so we missed it by 4 cents. 4 pennies we missed it by, and it has a nice run back down again. I think 1765 is probably what we're looking for. A lot to chunk through though, and again, because of the end of the week there, we got to kind of slice through and break through a lot of this. But I think 1675 is really kind of where we're looking, looking for targets over here. All right, not doing much, not doing much. They're all down, but all right. So let's check opening print. Look at a lot of volatility. A lot of volatility on that one. Sterling closest gains. Yeah. Whew. Jacking that one up, man. Jacking that one up. So, now, also very, very hard day. Again, with the holiday yesterday, this is the first kind of opening print for the week. So, even though it's Tuesday, it kind of has to be handled kind of like a Monday. Having data at 9:45 and then right at 10 o'clock today, the opening print's always going to be weird because you're going to have that data point that comes in. Normally, U.S.-based data is 8:30 in the morning, so again, we can kind of play reversals on there. But you always have to be a little bit extra careful when you're looking at opening prints when there's major news about to come out, right? Now, doesn't mean that it can't help you, but it can also hurt you. And again, with split numbers like this, it's like, oh, what the heck do we do with this one, right? So, when we drop this down to a 15-minute chart, we can look at this and say, okay, the 9:30 candle is right here, okay? Is the 9:30 candle really in an area of buying and selling, okay? On the top side, you could say, well, wait a second, there's that right there, but 9:30 is already over here. It's already left that area, right? So it's already technically in the trade. Downwise, you could say, well, wait a second, there's basing down here, but we've hit it, we've hit it, we've hit it, we've hit it, we've hit it. You know, is it in that level? Not really. And actually, I guess the zone's right there. But look, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Getting lower, lower, lower. There's probably not any buyers in there. So kind of one of those ones. With the price being over here at 9:30, it's not really in a zone to take in either direction. A trade had already been triggered from overnight-based news. Nothing there. So again, it's kind of like the Monday / the news ready to come out. And you know, this is why it's like, well, wait a second. This went straight down. It was already moving. This is the 9:30 candle right here. Here was the price. It had already been pushing down. Why? Because the data was out. Okay. NQ. Similar scenario. 9:30 is right here. Is it at the highs? Nope. Nope. And again, there was your failure to go higher scenario, right? And again, that was kind of a 5:30-ish trigger, right? 9:30 being all the way down here, it's kind of the same thing. Is there a level? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. This is 4, so we're not looking for buyers, right? And you can see if I mark that level off, it is already pushed all the way deep. So you didn't expect that on the hold. So being right here, you know, is there a setup? Nope. Nope. Would you use this one? Not really, right? Not really. And again, with the nice push down, no setup. Nothing we can do. And again, this is I'm trying to show you guys kind of what a lot of this looks like. Again, there's your overnight. There's your candle that we like. There's your confirmation test of it. And this one kicked in 8:30-ish. 8:30-ish. So the 9:30 candle, the opening print is right here. Kind of the same thing. Looking to the left. Yeah, there was a zone there, but the zone has been hit. Right? Whoops. This one. Right? Zone's been hit. Zone's been hit. Zone could be front run. Zone was hit. It paused, came back up again, and just sliced through it. So right now, I would say, again, it currently looks like it's trying to pull a reversal, right? It's found its bottom at 10:30. It pulled up. It's formed this red. If we get a green close above, then that could be a retracement all the way back up again. So right now, again, we can mark this off, but I would say, if anything, this could be a potential bottom for it to pull back up. I wouldn't say that the news is necessarily earth-shattering for services, but levels that you need to watch out for, right? Right now, obviously, is the 23.6, so we've pulled back again. So if we maintain the kind of the negative nature today, this will probably be a short. But again, if it comes back down again, we're looking for more of a confirmation-based trade. You can see this can be considered a racetrack. So, you know, I think watch levels up here. If we're able to kind of rally back up again, look for 31.573. I'm sorry, 31.533. 31.533. Okay. But you will have people taking this one short. People that are pure fib traders, they're going to look at this and like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Which, again, 530 reversal, right? But this is where these things break and they go higher. So I just use a little caution. Technically, this is the strongest of all of them. It's down the least amount. So if one person was going to break the trend, it would probably be the Dow, right? And the Russell, kind of the same thing. 9:30 is all the way here. Okay, we had a zone that's good. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, right? There was the night. There was the overnight, right? There was that into there. If you didn't use that one, you could have used that one to that one. And again, that one triggered as well. This would have given you an 8:30 a.m. release, which again, no news base, but that's 8:30 tends to be when the future trader come online. So there was an 8:30 short, 8:15 short. You know, if you had taken that, you were good to go. But as far as your 1 to 3, yeah, I mean, right now you're at a 1 to 11. 1 to 11. 1 to 3 is only right there. But you had to been trading futures market at 8:30. So, but as far as, you know, the opening one is right here. Right. 9:15, 9:30 is this one. That's where we opened. Was right there. Right? And again, not a good zone. So, again, it's a Tuesday, Monday, as well as news at 10 o'clock. So, not the ideal scenario. But it's great because I could take today's as an example and add that in. So, again, trying to add as much stuff as I possibly can to this one to give you guys a lot of examples because it is something that's a little bit different. But there's so many examples out there of it. So, all right, that is it for today. Like I said, it's I love when Mondays are holidays, right? I love when Mondays are holidays, but I feel like as far as trading goes, I prefer a Friday holiday versus a Monday holiday, just because you know, people are going to work those 4 days and then go on vacation. Where in this case, it's like, yeah, when it's a US-based holiday, the rest of the world is already open, so they've had like their Monday funk already taken out of it. Where like a Tuesday for us now is getting all like the weekend funk out for the US trader. So it makes it always weird. It's like my least favorite trading days is Tuesdays after a holiday. And a big one too. It's not like it's a little holiday for us, but nobody else in the world celebrates it. So, it's not as bad as like 4th of July, right? Nobody celebrates 4th of July. But yeah, US based holidays. What are you going to do? And it's a big one. So, excuse me. It wasn't like I didn't sleep last night, and I've had like 1 cup of coffee. I have no idea why I'm doing this so much. So, all right. So, with that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing for today. We got 6 of you in. Neuro won last time, so Neuro is going for 100. Everybody else is going for 25 pip chips at the start of this week. We got everybody in today, right? No Sean, but like I said, Sean is enjoying it while he still can. He's almost out. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. Let's close this down, and let's see who the winner of today's drawing is. Ernest. Look at that. Ernest steals it. Cost him 1 less pip chip, and Ernest took it from Neuro. Neuro was denied the double victory. Funny thing is, I almost just gave it to Neuro. God, Ernest would have filleted me on that one if I gave him the 25 when he won. Could you imagine that? God. Could you imagine, guys, what the flack I would get if Ernest wins and I accidentally give the points to Neuro? Could you imagine? Wow. He will burn everything down, right? It'd be like that kid from Deadpool 2, just burning everything down, right? But that's why I love Ernest, right? That's why I love him. All right, with that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Again, hopefully all our trading funk is out. Wait for the BOJ to drop the hammer because it's coming. I mean, you're starting to hear it now, right? Skidding past 420, $4. And again, this is skidding past, 142. We know that, guess what? We're trying to skid past 143, right? Made it to 93, missed it by 7. So it's on its way. All right, with that said, I am out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you then.